Good
Sounds
evening
good.
and welcome to the third episode of What You've Been Listening to Lately. This is Nolan. I'm your host, and tonight I'm joined by my nephew, Kasidy Manhart, and his son, Jackson Manhart. And they, I guess, watched maybe the first episode, and they're both music lovers, so I thought it'd be fun to have them join for an episode tonight. So thank you for coming on with us.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
No problem.
So, as you know, we'll go through and I'll let you each tell us about five songs that you've been listening to lately. So, let's start with Cassidy, and you can tell us what is your first song and tell us a little bit about why that song is one that you like to listen to.
Okay. I've been listening to Wanna Be Loved by the Red Clay Strays. I My love for music comes from discovering bands. Like I like to see bands before they really get big.
Mhm.
I go to a music fest over in Twin Falls. It's called Highway 30, and there's a lot of bands that have like I watched Lainey Wilson, who has blown up, and I watched her the first time. I think she had the 5 o'clock slot, so like she was like three before the main headliner, but now she's blown up. And then I saw her last year as a headliner.
Okay.
Um, and so the Red Clay Strays are similar. Like I've seen them when they were just starting out, and now they're really getting some traction, and their stuff's taking off. And he just has a really cool voice. Like it's a really interesting voice, and his sound, his it's almost like 60s country,
Hmm.
but a little more upbeat. Like he plays his guitar up here real high.
Hmm.
Um, he kind of looks like Elvis, and but he's just one of a kind, and Want to Be Loved. Basically, the song is about just being an individual, just being who you are, and you're not like anybody else, and we just all want to be loved for who we are. So
Very good. All right. Yeah, I never heard of them, but that's one of the reasons why we want to do this show is to learn about new music. So this is going to be pretty cool. Jackson, what's your first song?
Let me pull it up real quick. I have a list of them on my phone.
Okay.
I did Today by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay, I know that song.
It's kind of an old song, but I like it. I really like the vibe of it, I guess. Just kind of the way it's a chill song. So on a long car ride, you can put that on, kind of just jam out. It's a song most people know, I feel like, or a lot of people know. So
Yeah. So Cassidy, you probably would agree with me. That's the cool thing is our kids are starting to learn music that that,
yeah,
that we would think was old, but yet when we were kids, we listened to classic music
yeah,
too. So
yeah. I listened to a ton of classic rock from the 60s and 70s when I was a kid, and now like Jace was listening to something the other day. I can't remember even what it was, but it was like that was cool when I was,
yeah,
you know, that was new when I was younger.
now
Jackson,
it's old for us. So
if you see your Uncle Stan Jackson, tell him that you like Smashing Pumpkins because he knows those guys.
yeah, I'll have to tell them that.
I think he knew them before they were popular when
Oh
he
yeah,
when he lived in Chicago. I believe
yeah.
so. I believe so. So Today by Smashing Pumpkins. Okay. Number two song, Cassidy?
Number two is "Damn Near Normal" by Wetzel. It's kind of country rock. I've
Hmm.
been listening to Wetzel for quite a while. He's Texas music scene.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
I've heard of him. He's very popular when he comes,
yeah,
has a big crowd here.
yeah, I've seen him a few times now. He always puts on a good show, but this "Damn Near Normal" it's kind of this. It's off of his album Nine Lives that just came out a couple months ago,
Okay.
and it's kind of him growing up, and the song is about him, like what his life is like and what his life could be like having kids and having a wife, and how he doesn't have that. He's used to kind of a wild, crazy life, and it's kind of an interesting. like maybe he's yearning for to get out of the rock and roll lifestyle and to live something that's more normal. So
Okay. That was a good one. Jackson, your number two song?
So I did Everlong by the Foo Fighters, which you guys definitely know that song.
oh, yeah.
Those are all good.
Um, I really like that song because it just gets me kind of pumped up and in the right mindset for like a football game, a rugby match, or even just listening to it on the morning gets me ready for a long, long day of school. So that's always nice.
Yeah. I think that would be a song like you get in the car, it makes you want to drive a little faster, maybe turn it up a little louder.
Definitely, definitely.
Definitely kind of a pump up song, isn't it?
I
Okay.
also been starting to listen to Foo Fighters a little bit. I like Everlong, My Hero, Monkey Wrench. Those are probably some of my favorite songs from that band.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, Cassidy, song number three.
Number three is Dodging Bullets. It's by Casey Johns. It's a funny song. It's about her. She's a country artist from Nashville. And it's just her life on the road basically, and getting as an attractive single girl. Um,
Okay.
and basically the dodging bullets is dodging people hitting on her,
Right.
and getting out of those situations. And she's just got some good lines, and I really like her. Like, she's got a cool sound, she's got a nice story, and she's like, I met her, and she is just a really really nice lady. So
Where did you meet her?
in Twin Falls at the Music Fest, she was the first time I met her. She was playing like outside of the venue, like while everybody was lining up in the mornings. They'd have her play every morning, and I thought that was pretty cool that she'd come in and do that, get up early every morning. And then after that she got some, like, a pretty good spot the next year, like a mid-afternoon spot. So she's growing. It's cool to see.
That's where sometimes you have to start out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What was the name of the song again? Dodging.
Dodging bullets.
Okay. All right. And your song, Jackson?
Well, I thought I had to include some Kanye, so I did Flashing Lights, which is probably one of my favorite songs. Flashing Lights by Kanye.
Okay.
Which, to be honest, it's a catchy song, but it's kind of the same line over and over again a little bit. Pretty
Hmm.
much just Kanye going flashing lights, lights, lights. So I mean, it's not really that interesting of a song, but it's a really catchy song. I like to think.
Okay. Yeah, obviously he's very popular. Maybe not something that I think I've heard that song, but uh, I don't go looking for Kanye songs, but
Yeah,
I'm old guy too, so
I think Jackson listens to Kanye to rebel against Taylor Swift.
oh, I see.
yeah. I'm not really a big. My mom's a big Taylor Swift liker, and I'm not really for that Taylor Swift music. So
So they have a little thing going
Yeah,
on.
feud,
yeah, a
yeah.
little rivalry.
Yeah, we Marsha in episode one picked a couple of Taylor Swift songs. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing about music, though. It's everyone likes different things, and that's the cool thing about music. So, all
Yeah,
right,
and I'm not gonna say I dislike and don't know a lot of Taylor Swift songs, but I just like Kanye more.
okay, that's fair.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
good. Cassidy, what's your fourth song?
It is called Blue Light Special. It's by a band called Kenny Fiedler and the Cowboy Killers. It's off an album they released in 2019 that was called The Cowboy Killers. He is like a modern Chris Ledoux. He was a um, rodeo rider. He rode broncs in the rodeo, and then he'd play after out of the back of his guitar, or out of the back of his car. He'd play his guitar and sing songs.
Huh.
And it's kind of rodeo rock and roll. But anyway, like, some of the lines I really like. He has some really good lines in some of the songs, and like one of these, he talks about how Blue Light Special is about the cops chasing him anyway. And one of the lines is about how mom would be proud, that, and it's kind of it's an interesting. It's just like he's just running wild, and he has some good songs. Like he has one line in there that he's talking about outrunning the cops, and he says the gals or my gal's screaming, but that bitch should have taken the Shoelace Express. So I mean, just kind of creative, clever, and he's really starting to gain some traction, I think, and starting to pick up.
Any idea what the Shoelace Express means?
I think it was, man, she should have been walking.
Okay.
He should have dropped her off, and she should be walking.
I got you. Okay.
Because he's in the car outrunning the cops. So,
Like, where's he based out of?
I think he's originally from like Nebraska.
Okay.
He travels a lot.
Rodeo circuit.
Yeah, he did the rodeo circuit. Now they're mostly touring. They were in Boise not too long ago. A while before that, they were in Cheyenne. So they travel around. I think this week they're in like Nevada somewhere or New Mexico at a rodeo.
Okay. Number 4 for Jackson.
I did Seventh Heaven by the NIOHAs.
I've never heard of that one.
Me neither.
It's kind of like a road trip song. It just kind of talks about how you won't have as good a time with anyone else besides your friends, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really like that, and it kind of goes throughout the day of their road trip. That makes sense.
Yeah. NIOHAs.
Yeah.
That's the name
I
of
don't know if that's their name, but that's how it's spelled, and it's all caps. So
it. Yeah, we'll have to look all these up. That's one thing after these, I'd like to listen to everybody's choices.
Yeah.
It's a very upbeat song.
Okay.
Very much so. It's a road trip song that you could also like. You watch a movie and there's a road trip. It's definitely a song that could get played. If that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you find out about these songs?
Well, I see a lot of them on like Instagram and TikTok, or just my friends will tell me about songs or play them in the car, and I'll pick up on there, try listen to my phone, add to my playlist.
And do you have like a Spotify or YouTube Music or something? Or
I have a Apple Music. Yeah.
all right. Are we up to song number 5 now?
Number 5. Song number 5 is "Insane" by Old 60. It's another one where they've really kind of taken off. I believe they're Texas-based, kind of a country, and he doesn't like if you see the guy and then you hear his voice, it's like that voice comes out of that guy. It's just a different, and he has a really original voice. And "Insane's" a really good song. It's about basically a girl and a guy that are in love, but something happens and they separate. And she's basically doing drugs to ease the pain, and he's drinking to ease the pain, and it's just kind of an interesting. They're both, and the line is, I think that he'd rather die than go insane or something, or keep on living insane. So it's it's kind of dark, but at the same time it's kind of a good song. I mean,
So Texas country usually seems to me like a blend of country and rock a little bit, right?
a lot of it is really country and rock, and it's almost like modern Southern rock. I mean, it's not quite like I don't know if you're familiar with Blackberry Smoke or
A little bit.
they're kind of modern Southern rock, and this is just kind of just a little bit more country than that,
Okay.
but it's still. And I don't know how I got into the Texas country, the Texas sound, but like the hat Jackson's wearing is Mike and the Moon Pies, which they no longer exist. They've changed their name to Silverado, but they're a Texas country band that it's been around for a while.
Yeah. Near us, where we live, there's a place called the Flores Country Store, and people come, like big names, come to this little, almost like a honky tonk type
Oh yeah,
place and play. And even Willie Nelson comes there sometimes, and big names come through there. So
and
See, I
see
don't listen to
Texas.
country, and I know Willie Nelson.
What's that?
I don't listen to country, and even I know who Willie Nelson is. So
But yeah, Texas.
Texas has a lot of good music and a lot of like I want to go to like Billy Bob's,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the is it Fort Worth Stockyard,
I think so, yeah.
some, some of the stuff down there, and then like I'd like to go to Nashville and go to Tootsie's
Someday.
someday.
All right, Jackson, last song.
I did Sandpaper by Zach Bryan. It's kind of like, well, let me look at who the other artist in it is real quick. You guys know Bruce
Bruce
Springsteen.
Springsteen,
Okay.
Yeah,
the duet, yeah.
he's probably my favorite part in the song. I've never really, I knew who Bruce Springsteen was, but I've never listened to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Besides when my dad puts him on in the car. So, but I feel like that's how it is with. I'm trying to get more into country a little bit, and I really, really like. I'm wearing a Zach Bryan hoodie. I
Oh,
went to his concert with my dad. I really like Zach Bryan. Been listening to since like 5th grade, and I'm in 11th grade, so
mm-hmm.
we're not 6th grade. So like 5 years of listening to Zach Bryan.
Yeah, Jackson was one of the first ones to jump on the Zach Bryan bus. He actually introduced me to Zach Bryan.
Huh.
Uh,
And now
and
there's a
Zach Bryan's blowing up.
there's a duet with him and Bruce Springsteen, huh?
Yeah, I've been a Zach Bryan day one. It's weird because I started listening to him when he was only on Apple Music. I mean, only on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So I remember after because one day our teacher's like, no phones in class, and I was in 6th grade. I didn't even have a phone. I was really bored, so I was just looking at music and stuff on my Chromebook, and stumbled upon his first album, and November Air, Godspeed, which are a bunch of good songs I like. So it's nice to see him blow up and know that I was one of the first guys who listened to him.
Hmm. So you get that from your dad, huh? It is fun to
It
know
is fun to discover.
when they're younger. And for me, most of the music that I like, if I like a band, it's usually some of their earlier stuff that I like before they got real famous. So that's typical.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. Also, like we were talking about these kids finding younger or artists that are old that were that were new when we were young,
Right.
and it's like I don't know if you're familiar with Post Malone's new album. It's a country album. He came out with a country album called the F1 Trillion,
Mm,
and one of his biggest songs on it is a duet with Dolly Parton.
okay.
Right, like there. It's modern artists finding these older bands and doing and like Zach Bryan and Bruce Springsteen, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean. It's just kind of a cool. It's cool to see genres mix like that.
Right. People that maybe they grew up listening to or their parents listened to or whatever, and now they're doing a duet with them. Like that,
Yeah.
that must be an amazing feeling to do that. But
Well, and it's interesting because like kids Jackson's age, they didn't like when I grew up. If your parents were listening to, Kenny Rogers, you were listening to Kenny Rogers because you only had one tape or, one record player
yeah,
in the house
your
and there
cassette,
was only FM, AM or FM radio. You
right?
didn't have, even like I remember when cassettes got popular, but even that, it was like you listened to Conway Twitty because that was the cassette that your parents were listening to. You didn't get a choice. And now these kids have headphones and they have their own music all the time. So it's cool to see them find
Yeah.
some of this older stuff.
But what's also neat too is they're discovering vinyl and they're all getting their record collections and
Oh yeah.
so
And all these new artists like come out with these limited release vinyl albums and it's like where do you even find something to play it? It's
yeah,
uh,
it's coming around pretty
it
soon.
is.
Pretty soon, 8 tracks will be coming back.
Oh,
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt it
Vinyls are
tracks.
only cool because it gives you like a piece to have. That makes sense. And it's
Yeah,
like you can hang it on your wall. But no offense against like mixtapes or anything, but I don't know how good those would look hung on a wall.
but the album, yeah, that's what the kids say too. The album cover as a piece of art.
Yeah.
It kind of influences you to sit down and just listen to the whole album back like people used to listen to music instead of
Yeah.
listening to one song here and there. So yeah, it's good.
Interesting.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
one thing
I
I like
think
we're on
your view is frozen. We can hear you, but oh, there you're back. You're back, but
me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
cut
we
you out a
didn't
little
hear
bit
you.
there. Sorry.
you were kind of frozen. What were you saying?
I was saying one thing that like is a good and a positive is on Apple Music. You can go to the artist essentials, and it's just a list of all their biggest top songs.
Okay. Yeah, I think we lost his video, but that's okay.
All right.
Well, there he's back. So you can find what you like on Apple Music
Yeah.
with the artist essentials you said.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy to know that you both really like music, and even though we're related, I'm a rocker and you're a country and you're a mix. So everyone's got their own things that they like. So that's the cool thing
Yep.
about it. Well, I'm gonna put this up on YouTube and you can tell your friends about it, Jackson, and Cassidy, you can tell your friends too.
I
And
will.
hopefully they'll share it and like it and make comments and maybe they'll even want to get a hold of me to do an episode. So I'm I'm open to that with anyone that is interested in doing an episode. So
Cool.
all right. Well, it's good to see you both. I haven't seen you in a while, but we'll keep in touch and
See you guys.
music will be the link to us keeping in touch, I guess maybe.
I like
Yep.
it.
Hopefully.
So, all right. I'm gonna end the recording and you can stay on if you want and we'll talk for a second.
Yeah.